Hey there, I'm David Barefoot, and this is the Holy Shift Podcast. So last week we were talking about this concept of outside in, behave, or inside out. First just be, so that you can have that peace and that certainty that comes from knowing nothing's missing, nothing's broken. Just that you are already good, even if you aren't feeling good or behaving good. There's no condemnation. So being established in the be and then the have. If you didn't catch it, go back and listen, because it's a foundation to where we're headed. It's also a foundational principle for Holy Shift and the concept of Holy Shift. Again, set apart, other than. Holy means set apart and other than. And shift means, especially with the why, that we're at forks in the road where we can constantly choose to align with the shifted alternative, the other than, better than, set apart, that's intended for you and for you to usher in for others. So that word others opens up where we're headed today. We're going to continue exploring this concept of living the shifted life and this shifting from a behaving life to a be-have. But when you can be and have all that's intended, you can now bring in that be and have inside out approach to things in business that radically transform your outcomes. Inspire people. Inspire your clients and serve them in a way they don't experience anywhere else. It becomes a differentiator. In your marriage, you become this intended safe space because you don't have this be-have outside in codependent expectation or need to meet the needs of the behavior standard. And instead, you have your own be-have inside out standard that becomes so trustworthy, so comforting. It becomes this certainty that's contagious. But it does involve engaging others either way. So the way we were taught to engage others was to behave, to align with others instead of align with a truth that's bigger than all of us, and align with who you're made to be. So what we need to face is this encounter with others and how to deal with boundaries, how to deal with not behaving anymore, and the impact that's going to have on others. So, as an example for me, just a behaving life. And so with everyone I was in a relationship with, they came accustomed to how I show up. They became accustomed to my ability to be a chameleon, to shapeshift, to not share my raw emotions. So with my kids, particularly my daughter, my two sons, just from an age and stage standpoint, they were around for more of the behaving part of my life. And now I get to, as adults with them, share it. It's bringing us, it's one of my favorite things in life is doing life with them as adults, all three kids. Love stage 2 to 6, when kids just lean in with no agenda. It's kind of, if I had to pick a favorite stage, it's from 2 to 6. But I had a guy share with me one time early in my parenting, choose to love every age and every stage. And that way you can't lose. Just find it. Stay curious. It was a new frame for me, and because of that, I've done just that. And so my 34-year-old son loved where we're at and the chance to do life together. My 29-year-old son, same thing. My daughter just is on her way to 22. And she was here for me going through this transition. And so she was, for her younger stage formative years, she wasn't used to seeing me get mad. The rare times that I did, it was aggressive and scary to her, because I'd bottle it up and then there'd be a situation, some rage would show, be very short-lived. I'd recover, I'd apologize, whatever. But very even keeled. Why? Because I was good at behaving, because it got me desired outcomes. So I could again talk about how it affects me and my mom, me and my wife, me and my people that I worked with, all those examples. And the time we have, I'm just going to say for my daughter, it started to break my heart. And yet I couldn't stop. I had to go from behaving to being having. And so it was a delicate process. Fortunately, she is somebody that early in life decided she didn't want to live just as a behaving life either. So she had the courage to lean into it and say, I want to know how you feel, Dad. I want to know the truth. That's what I want to see. So when we weren't triggered in fight or flight, either of us, we've kind of enjoyed this journey of discussing it. But it's too late once I've gone, and I'm not apologizing to you or to her for those moments, because now they're not rage, they're just raw, they're real. And so I have to remember when I've gone there and she gets triggered, not to be surprised. I'm the one that's responsible for this behavior that she saw for so many years. And now she needs time to learn to trust the real, raw version. So I take responsibility, and when I see I've put her in fight or flight, I'm doing better and better at giving her space to de-escalate on her own instead of me stepping in to try and fix it and tell her she shouldn't be tight. Nasal breathe. Probably the thing that pisses her off more than any statement I say she'll get into fight or flight. I'm like, nasal breathe, come up. And I could tell she wants to throat punch me so bad. It's just, I'm cracking up because I'm picturing it right now. The words I can hear going on in her head are going off in my head right now. That said, repetition of it just being okay to mess up. Be and have what's real in the moment. Be shifted after blowing it and choosing the less than by me getting tight at her getting tight, and then me speaking up to try and fix it. I'm recognizing, and one of the things you'll hear us say here often, you want a superpower? Seriously, I'm asking, do you want to be a superhero? Who doesn't, right? I don't know whether yours is Iron Man or Batman or Doctor Strange or whatever. Like whatever your superpower, superhero metaphor is, you become an absolute rock star superhero when you make awareness one of your superpowers. I know it's not as sexy as on screen when you can like do this and bend time, or when you can get angry and turn into a Hulk, or when you can put I forget what it's called, in your chest and all of a sudden have this, and this Iron Man suit. But when you can be aware and shift, and then do it again, and then do it again, the people that count on you, they notice. Now, if you look for them to notice and need them to notice, you've already fallen out of the shifted life and gone back to the less than behaving life. If I needed my daughter to go, Dad, you're my hero. You've become aware. You've learned how to be more real and raw, but you've also learned to give me space. If I need that from her, I've just burdened her. I'm in this outside-in place, and it sucks. It's ugly. It's weak. But if I can be aware, now there's no condemnation. I'm not seeking perfection. And I send a message to her that she doesn't have to be perfect either. You get it, right? If you're seeking perfection, A, you know you'll never reach it. So B, it's an excuse to not really try. And C, it puts you in a victim mode and you look at how other people are the cause of your discomfort or dissatisfaction. And you are in bondage. So, step to being free. Awareness is a superpower. Second thing is be prepared that as you go from behaving to be having, you're going to shake people up. the people that are in your inner circle and then that next circle right around it that you do business with, they're not going to know how to take it right away. So just chill, shift, pause, hold the line, hold space, become aware. And as you can do it without behaving and needing accolade or feedback, let the people that matter know what's going on. Let them know, and then give them space to watch and learn to trust this new powerful thing. Inside out, it's going to radically transform your life if you've been a behavior and want to shift to this be-haver. This is the stuff we'll continue to lean into in the Holy Shift podcast. Come back, learn more, dig in, share it with other people. For now, I'm David Barefoot. This is the Holy Shift podcast. See you on the next episode.